Hi, welcome to Kindred Spirit Readings. Let's begin. Aries. It's always, it's as if the new year started and you've never worked harder than you are right now. The workload is increasing right off the bat. You work just automatically. What I picked up on was people also know that they can rely on you regardless. You come through as this force to be reckoned with. You're very strong. There's a lot of strength coming through, and you are just doing what you have to or what you need to, depending on where you're at. You're going in with this at the same time with this really positive attitude, which is great. One thing that I'm noticing here to be extremely mindful of is temptation. Aries, two things, not one thing, pardon me. Two things: temptation, addiction. And just quickly before I forget, I'm also seeing something show up here about family. Now, I do want to try and cover as much as I possibly can because there's a ton of stuff that's just popping out at me. So let's just start with temptation, addiction, and then I'll go back and talk to you about work, and then I'll finish up with family. Maybe if I can get through all of this, it would be great. I see something else. I'll bring up, yes, let's talk about temptation, addiction. This has something to do with your past. And this also has something to do with work. Someone at work, you might think it's okay. I'll just, let me give you an example. You used to be a smoker, and I'm not specifying whether you were a social smoker or a full-time smoker, but if you did and you quit, if you were a smoker and you quit, you're being tempted by someone else because it just kind of helps to pass time, or you remember how good it felt once upon a time. Whatever it was for you at the time, and you're getting those feelings back is what I'm seeing here. There are those feelings that are coming back, the sensation, the everything. That's all tempting. I did say that's just an example, so it could be anything in relation to temptation, addiction. It could be anything from cigarettes to alcohol to, the list goes on. Whatever that is for you, Spirit is saying, do not do this. I feel you might fall back into your old ways, and if you thought you were stronger than that, think again. There is something coming through that is just it's pushing you to have a go, to try. Maybe it won't do me any harm. Let's say you haven't smoked a cigarette for 10 years. Some people still have cravings after 10 years. That is a possibility, so just take that into consideration. And you might just be in a position where you think everything's fine, I'll just have one, and then one ends up being, I've got a bad habit again, a full-time habit, and how am I going to get out of this one? So there is that word of warning. Let's move on to work. Now, I did mention something earlier about this, and I do feel that if there's something about you putting in a lot of time and effort, and I see that there's not enough sleep, you're more tired than usual. I do feel, as I started talking at the very beginning, I started talking about you being the strength. There's a lot of strength coming through. It does not mean that you don't get tired, okay? I don't feel that you're bothered by the amount of work that you've got happening here. I feel that you have a plan behind whatever it is you're working towards. You've set yourself a very big goal, perhaps whatever the goal is. You have a lot of time on your hands. You're using up all your time to manifest whatever it is you have in mind. What is this? You're planning to use your energy, your time, the best way you know how. And if it involves making more money, then so be it. You're going in with your head down, you're focused, and you're focusing really hard on your coins, your cash, if not both. Not allowing past habits, referring to your money now. Not allowing any past habits to resurface. So if you were a big spender in the past, you learned your lesson. Maybe you learned something the hard way previously. It wasn't as bad as it could have been. It could have turned out to be a lot worse, but I feel you've come out from that. You've come out of that for sure. You were at some point in your life, you were able to revive yourself and say, okay, well, this is what I don't want to be doing for the rest of my life. Again, it does speak volumes, the way that you've been able to manage yourself and you've been able to refinance or pick yourself up again. And just to have that strength, as I did mention now for the third time, because that keeps coming through, to keep going, keep working, it's what keeps you going. Work does at the moment. And if you have family and you do have a very supportive family behind you, if that is if you do live with other people that are close to you, or if you have family, this could be, family, friends, or your own little family at home, who can always count on you, and vice versa. Just the same. And just quickly, I wanted to talk about family. How do I put this into words? I wanted to keep this really simple. What I'm seeing here is that I see you wanting to put a stop to something, but it's really, really hard. Whatever this relationship is with an older male that I'm seeing here in relation to family, things may get worse. They may, in fact, get worse. It's never easy. It's always tough to say this out loud, but whatever this is with you showing up here, there's an older male within the family. It's harder than you think, and if you already know this, don't beat yourself up over it. There is some disconnection between the two of you. You know something is not right. It's not kosher, and I feel that for the other person, for this older male, they're kind of coming in blasé about everything, not really considering anybody else's feelings, and they're doing however they're behaving. It's almost as if they're working towards something. What is this? It's very insincere. It's not genuine. And you won't tolerate that. It's as simple as that. Thank you, Aries.